Good evening and welcome to episode 4 of 6 again with Finch. A massive thank you coming out of last week's episode. We've hit close to 500 views and 54 new subscribers. Not bad for a podcast in its infancy. Hope you all guys liked it. If you haven't liked, please like and subscribe, share it, and welcome back to episode 4. Tonight I've got a special guest on my left, brother Adam, who's a massive Broncos fan, unfortunately, but I've been wanting to get him on the podcast for a couple of weeks, and what better week to bring him in than when his side pumped my beloved Bulldogs. And as you all know, I've got my ride along, my podcast co-ey, Hazna.
Hi, brother.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
After the Penrith game, we thought it couldn't get any worse, depression. And then the Broncos game came and said, hold my drink.
Big,
Guff.
Massive shock.
18-0.
Massive shock.
What were you thinking at 18-0, Adam?
I think my dad was telling me, do you want to go home? And then I'm like, nah, we'll have some patience. I think the second half will come if the Broncos continue just to keep fighting. If we can just get one try on the board, I think like we would have did something. But I think the Broncos always need a try to carry on. Then the Bulldogs just fell apart.
And Selwyn Cobbo was the Broncos' best, the Bulldogs' best player in the first half. He stopped his...
Wasn't he? He was playing so well for you guys. He left the bomb, he left the ball for Burden, and he was giving me anxiety the whole game. And it was a great watch for you guys, wasn't it, in the first half?
Did you think Cobbo already walked out on the Broncos in the first half? His head wasn't there.
Gave up straight away.
It didn't look like his head was in the game at all.
As he was in the dressing room, they was like, fuck you.
Funny fact, sorry to spit in. Funny fact, right. In the team song, he was in the background just clapping a bit, and then he just walked off.
Do you think he feels left out a bit?
Yeah, 100%.
But he's got...
Yeah, I agree.
I still think he's a special talent, and I think once he gets his head fully committed to a club, he's in the top echelon of players.
Like, don't forget, at the end of the day, he played fullback in a forceful decision.
Yeah,
he had no choice. Maguire had
Broncos,
no
choice. all the injuries.
At the end of the day, Cobbo probably wouldn't even be in the 17 if it wasn't for that case. So,
Adam, is it true he's only 21, 22 years old?
Yeah, they're 21, 22 years old.
So
he's still a baby. He's still young playing.
We expect so much of our younger players now, because they can go through ups and downs behind the scenes.
100%. We put too much pressure on them.
Brother Adam, what made you support the Broncos?
It's a good question. I have to answer it to everyone. Growing up with my cousins, they're diehard Broncos supporters in the 90s, and born in the 90s, just grew up, not forced, but just started following them. And
they were the goat years of the Broncos.
Yeah, they were.
What a side they had. They had 12, 13 Origin players, 11 Australian players.
Almost every year up until 06.
Wayne Bennett coach.
Yeah, there was the dynasty.
That side was cracker.
It was a great year.
Who was your favourite past player, Adam?
Has to be Darren Lockyer.
Lockyer?
He's clutch. We'll never see anyone go from fullback to halfback to 5'8" the way he did.
Mr. Clutch?
Mr. Clutch. That's a good nickname.
He's one of my favourite players of all time.
I hate to admit it, he was gun.
Monster.
Favourite Brisbane Bronco memory?
My favourite memory would have to be, as we'll discuss, in probably 06 in this prelim final against the Bulldogs. We were down by a lot, and then we came back to win, and then even in the grand final we were down, and we won the grand final.
It's a good old SFS prelim, right?
Yeah, it was
20-6 or 20-0 at half time.
20-6, I'm sure it was a half time.
And Willie Mason went off early, remember?
20-0.
Yeah, that was the comeback.
Yeah, it was, and Hodges was in the centres, not fullback, and then Wayne Bennett always playing his games. And
it was Hodges went to fullback.
Hodges was named fullback with the number 1 jersey. And played centre.
Carmichael
Hunt went to fullback.
Carmichael Hunt went to fullback, and then Sean Berrigan ran a muck, and Lockyer had spiders on him.
100%. And Sean Perry was just there.
And then we cried all the way home on the M5.
Sean Perry was our Toby Sexton.
Favourite current Bronco player? And don't say Reece Walsh.
Oh, it has to be. Unfortunately, not everyone loves him, Ezra Mam, right now.
Ezra Mam.
He's got so much booze, but unfortunately, it's the truth.
You know they're not booing him for his colour or race or anything. That Gordon Tallis Gibra thinks it's an Adam Goods moment. They're booing him because of the mistake or the incident that happened. It's not racial at all.
I don't think it's the actual accident or mistake that's happened. I think it's the decision that's given to him.
I agree.
They think it's too light.
Too light.
Way too light.
Like you've got example Satili Tupanua and Jacob Preston for a little high tackle that wasn't even like a deadly incident. They got 5 weeks.
I
where
agree.
he got 9 weeks.
I agree.
For an incident that almost, everybody's saying that almost killed a person, but he severely injured them.
And he was on drugs, alcohol.
And unlicensed.
That's a very good point.
That's a very good
awesome.
point.
Yeah.
But the Gordon Tallis, the Gibber, to come out and say it's an Adam Goods moment from the AFL, the Swans, because of it's bullshit.
No.
Because he was playing, how long has he been playing for? Just say 2-3 years?
2-3 years.
He's never been booed like he's booed after the incident
100%.
and after the light sentence.
100%. It's a completely different
That's
matter.
what I think it is. It's the light sentence that was given to him, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe because he's in such a powerful club.
And he's a good player.
Such a powerhouse club, yeah.
Yeah.
Besides his character, which we detest, but Adam loves, he's actually a very good player.
How?
He's,
I've no doubt.
he's also
He's got
21,
the
22 years old.
Yeah, he's a baby.
No doubt.
He's a baby that doesn't have his car license. Adam, how far do you think the Broncos can go this year? On our first podcast, I told Hazna, Broncos at full strength can win it all. On their day, they can beat anyone and beat anyone, not with ease, but like what's that word I'm looking for? They can beat anyone on their day when they click.
Well, at the moment, we have boys fighting for positions, especially after everyone.
Which is healthy.
Which is very healthy. Willison now coming into form. I do think that we can make a run into the finals. If we can get into the top 4, we can make the grand final.
Do you think their run to the Premiership solely relies on making the top 4? Can they make a run out of that from the outside the top 4?
Well, I did a little bit of investigation this week on the ladder.
You did a Jeff Tuvey?
Yeah, and
Investigation.
I feel like Penrith and Brisbane will have to try to win it out of the 4.
Out of the force.
You don't think
The only team that I see crumbling out of the 4 is the team coming 4th, which is Warriors, only because of their
injuries.
their important position of injuries. You know, like Metcalf, Barnett.
so Warriors, sorry, hasn't cut you off. Warriors are going to lose 2 games. Brisbane got to win 2 more games than the Warriors with 8 games to go.
That's right, and they got better for and against at the end of the day as well. The bottom 2 teams, as in Brisbane and Penrith.
So I can only see Penrith or Broncos if pushing Warriors out. They can't both make the top 4.
That's exactly right.
We have an easy run coming up now. We've got Titans, a bye, Eels, and then we've got Melbourne twice at the end of the year, near the end of the year.
But I think you will need Warriors to trip up
100%.
a couple of games. Warriors have got a hard... They play the Bulldogs again.
Let's be honest,
They're missing their best player now.
Yeah.
Their best forward, Mitch Barnett. I think he's their best forward. And Luke Metcalf's been a revelation.
But it's so unfortunate for him.
But in reality, like...
But the destiny is still in the Warriors' hands, not in Brisbane's hands.
Yeah, of course.
That's
right. But at the end of the day, it's also in the hands of Bulldogs and Melbourne. Because Melbourne are just 2 points ahead of Warriors, just like us.
So the Broncos currently on 22 points, the Warriors on 26 competition points, and the Bulldogs with the Storm on 28.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, enough of the Broncos talk. After the game on Friday, walking back to P1, I got about 15 PMs. Any guesses of what I got PM'd?
About the Montoya.
Who else? The musical chairs, Adam?
Oh no, the musical
Decision
chairs.
making.
That was
The choke?
blaming Burton for him getting out of the halves.
No, it was all Galvin.
Oh my
If they
God,
win,
not that again.
if they win, it's all Galvin, and if they lose, it's all Galvin.
So much pressure on a 19-year-old.
Hasna, give us your quick.
So much pressure.
Give us your review. You know what? I've got down here musical chairs. The constant chopping and changing of the side. It can't fare well for the connection moving forward into the semis. Like he listed the side. I understand there could be 1 or 2 changes, but there was a mass changes before the game. And I turned to Adam. I was sitting next to Adam, and I said, "We're in trouble here. I can smell a Brisbane upset." True.
You did say that.
We moved our best half, our best 5'8" to centre. We moved our left centre to right centre. We moved our left winger to right winger. We moved our prop to. We moved Hayward. We moved Harry Hayes to our best interchange forward to start. It had to have some sort of disruption. I'm talking about not Gal. I'm talking about the current.
Yeah, it wasn't all Galvin. It wasn't just all his fault. That's just all scuttlebutt and just all talk between
the media BS trying to inflame the situation.
100%.
But I'll turn to you, Hasuna.
You obviously knew how upset I was. at the end of the game.
I've actually never seen you so upset.
Yeah. I was really upset.
It's like the Penrith game
I
reckon Penrith game times 2, because the Penrith game that was the game of the year.
you can't fault their performance in Penrith.
The Penrith game is the game that got away.
Yeah, the Penrith
Broncos game is the choke that shouldn't have happened.
The Penrith game, the only thing that it lacked was polish at the end, like as in executing plays.
But the desire, the defense,
Was all there.
the getting the cycle of the 6.
Look, I rewatched the game on TV.
Fuck, I read it even more.
And I say the first 50 minutes, the effort and the defense was there, as in pressuring Reynolds, pressuring Ezra Mann,
or Turpin.
They were actually giving him a hard run. Like Reynolds kicked the ball out on the full twice.
A couple of times, yes.
Ezra Mann done horrible hospital balls because of because of the pressure that was caused.
The line speed.
But then after that, the momentum completely changed, and the effort wasn't the effort that was in the first 50 minutes. And that's me saying this because I know Bulldogs throughout this season has performed close to 70 minutes a game. They'll only, do that brain lapse of that 10 minutes.
It's all in the effort areas. You think they let themselves down.
But to be honest, those effort areas is the accountability of Serrato's choices of picking players that shouldn't be in those positions. And that's with, let's start with Bronson Cherry being on the right and Montoya being on the right.
Bronson Cherry has not played right centre in 6 years.
Well, that's
oh my God.
That's the point.
He hasn't. His last game for Sharks, right centre, was 6 years ago.
I'm not sure how they are in pre-season and when they're training.
They're going to say they're training in all positions, but it's not game time scenario.
Yeah, personally, he's hooked and glued on that left position on how to attack and pressure a defensive line
It's
where he can distract it.
It's game day scenarios.
Yeah.
He comes into muscle memory. He's comfortable on that side.
That's right.
Him and Montoya in the second half, I think they missed the most tackles.
I think they did.
It was just one-way traffic. It was all down that edge.
And Sexton as well.
And that disrupted Jacob Preston. I've never seen Jacob Preston play so bad. Why? Because of the connection on his outside.
Ezra Mann in that second half had a field day.
Yeah, but mind you, it's the reason because they scored for the first time there. They go, let's do it again.
100%.
And they've done it again.
100%.
And then they've done it again.
100%.
They scored all their 4 tries on that side.
They found a weakness and they kept peppering it.
That's it. But that's what we lack when it comes to big moment plays.
The killer instinct.
The killer instincts to go again at it, to do what works for us, and that's what we lacked on. And to be honest,
That's where it does came back. That's where it does come back to Galvin. He's at the end of that game. He lacked a lot of immaturity.
Yeah.
So when the Broncos were coming back, instead of kicking it to the corner, instead of trying to find outside of play and try to get a scrum down to the Broncos side, what he was trying to do, make the magic play, cut out ball to Burden.
You think he was trying a bit too hard?
I think he did try a bit too hard.
But to be honest,
that's not to put it over him. That's actually
he'll learn
praise
from
him.
that.
But my brother, praising him.
But my brother, he wasn't halfback. He wasn't the dominant half.
Exactly right.
The halfback's supposed to kick to the corners. The
Sexton's
halfback's
supposed to be doing that.
He's the one that's supposed to be doing the big moments, getting the players out of trouble. That's his position at that sort of moment of game, And like I'm not going to blame Galvin, but Galvin had one of those bad games,
But he wasn't alone.
Of course he wasn't.
He wasn't alone.
Burden wasn't the best. Kickout wasn't the best. Preston wasn't the best.
That was Preston's worst game. I just mentioned that.
To be honest,
Connor Tracy pushing the pass.
I think the problem with the Bulldogs there is with Sexton, they don't give him that responsibility. Even with Burden being there, because Burden has developed that much, that well as a half. He's taken over the kicking game. He's taken over. And I've been to many Bulldogs games this year. He is the loudest talker on the field for the Bulldogs. That's Burden. And when he moved out to centre, that's when I knew.
Lost that.
You did lose that. Sexton was just.
I
like a robot.
don't believe not one single word that's coming out of Ciro's mouth when he's saying that Burden chose or put his hand up to play
He did exactly the same thing last year, if you remember, versus the Roosters game at Gosford when we put Drew Hutchinson.
Brother, he left Penrith to come to Bulldogs to play that number 6.
And for more money, literally.
To have that responsibility and that
He wanted that responsibility because he knew Jerome Luai was in front of him.
And how well has he developed?
Bro.
To put him centre?
My favourite player. He's my favourite player.
And I don't know why they're off. I don't know, Hazna, why are they off Wilson? They said he's a bit suspect under the high ball. Why are they off Wilson?
Look,
Wilson killed it last year.
I love Wilson, bro, but defensively his reads aren't the best.
Yeah,
I'm honest.
he's very weak.
Okay, so Montoya's reads were better on Friday.
They're par. Defensively, they're on par. Not last Friday.
I think what Montoya
Friday
has
was really bad.
is just a bigger body. In terms of his understanding of the game,
I think he's a bigger Josh at the moment, sorry. We're not, like I said, I don't want to be that podcast that will criticise players, but if they're going to take the praise, if he does something right,
if he's in position,
if he does something right, I'm going to kiss his ass, Montoya. But if he does something wrong, sorry, I'm going to call it out.
If he's in position for that critter pass,
is that fair enough?
That's very fair. If he's in position for that critter pass, where critter was trying to offload it, I feel like critter threw it like that.
Going back to last week, Adam, right?
Because Montoya was
he's out of position a lot. Sorry,
Yeah.
We were there at Magic Round. We were right next to him when Kick-Out kept saying correct. Kick-Out trying to put him away. He's either too deep, too
Wilson attacking and finishing. He will shit on Montoya.
Bro, Wilson deserves his chance. Sorry, man.
Of course, but maybe
we had Anari Tull, our right centre, who can play right centre. We bought him from Newcastle. I know he plays wing, but he's a centre. And we had Wilson there, and Burton could have stayed at 6.
You did mention he was strong and fast.
And Nari Tuolau is strong.
And fast.
It's his first game back. I know he wasn't the best, but you listen.
He's rusty. It's just rust.
And going back to Ezra Man, he'd hit lead, then he'd hit the lead one, and then he had the back. He was just toying with him at the end. So that's why we celebrated so well.
What position is Anari playing in New South Wales Cup?
Centre.
He played centre.
So under high balls and all that stuff, he isn't the best. Because that's who.
Even down in Newcastle, this is where I have the issues with. Even down in Newcastle, I was actually a fan of him. He was playing centre. He never played wing, unless someone could recall me or he was playing wing. Because I was in the centres.
Okay. The dummy, the Hayward dummy and go that's got to be. He done it once against the Roosters and it was a brilliant play. I think he's riding off the coattails of that dummy and go. He tried it way too much.
He just got stuck on it.
I think he got the Sexton dummy and Sexton and Hayward just dummied and went so much and it wasn't working. We didn't have that plan B.
No,
whereas Ezra Man had that plan B going back to Adam Reynolds where you hit the sweep, it hit the lead runner, and at depth, we never have depth.
That's true.
The stupid X play back onto Kick-Out, X, back into the rock. What? Kick-Out needs to be steaming onto the ball.
Kick-Out was having a field day in that first half. In that second half, they just didn't know how to find him.
If Kick-Out did a Piakora
who's going to stop him? If Kick-Out's running...
Nah, yeah, I agree with that.
Did you see the backline depth? They're attacking on the 10. Piakura was standing on the 30 metre line, close to it.
Ezra always has the option to go either down
lead or out the back.
Yeah, it's amazing. With the fullback wrapping.
Do you think, how's Reynolds going to stop Kick-Out one-on-one? Okay, just say the second roll jams in, hit out the back to Tracy. It's bread and butter. Like, we've never played first grade. Okay, but we are fans. We do watch every game.
You feel like it's always that X, like the Targo X with the Penrith.
It's so slow and lame. Yeah, it's telegraphed.
Like, I understand it's to tire the defensive team, but not consistently.
There's going to be variation, Hazna.
Do it like, for example, do it the first 25 minutes in the first half.
You chip away,
then smash him into.
Do you believe he's doing that because he believes that he doesn't have enough creative players on the field?
At the present moment, that's maybe. But mind you, brother, he had a full strength squad a couple of months ago, and it's still the same play.
Yeah.
But I've written a few dot points. I know Max King is one of our main offloaders. He wasn't there, but there was 0 offloads in the second half from Canterbury.
Wow.
No second phase play. So if Max, God forbid, something happens to Max King, Canterbury can't offload.
We were killing in the right.
There was 0 offloads. Hasna.
8 errors in the second half.
Josh Curran, another gun of mine, another favourite of mine, dropped it 4 times.
And Billy Walters came on. He was prime Cameron Smith. He was. I swear to God.
How did Billy Walters kill us?
How did you play that?
We completed 8 from 17. Because that comes back. That comes back on the coach. There has to be an underlying reason where players weren't feeling comfortable on not what side, just weren't feeling connected.
That comes down
whether it's the spacing on the field, whether it's what position they're playing, whether they're playing out of position. But what's Burnham going to do at left centre if the ball's stuck on? We were getting Arnold on the right centre spot and Burnham's the left centre. How's he going to help?
100%. It was just
that's on the he's going to be a brilliant. I'm hoping Serraldo is a lifetime coach. He's going to be a brilliant coach, and he's done a lot more positives. But
he will be. But these little mistakes,
they need to be rectified.
They need to be rectified ASAP. Honestly, you can't make the same mistake over and over.
I feel like some of the ugly wins at the start of the year. The one that springs to mind, the Newcastle game, where they had 14 players. They had a HI in the first minute. Jacob Saifidi tore his calf running out. So they were down to 15 players. Then they got another HIA. I can't remember the third. So they were down to 14 players for 75 minutes of the game, and we won 22-0. We should have won 62-0.
Wow.
Another, the Easter Friday game against South, we had 63% of the ball. We won 30-0 against South. So those ugly wins are masking the lack of creativity.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I know that he's got his full.
And this happened before Galvin.
I know he has his full strength team, but because he doesn't have like a Walsh, a Ezra Man, I feel like he's only got a Burden. He's only got now Galvin. They're very creative. They can get very spinny, movie. But I feel like Tracy's not as super creative as a Walsh.
You don't need to be a Walsh to run stand deep. You don't need to be a Walsh to run a sweep play. You don't need to be a Walsh to offload the ball.
Well, that goes back to Cameron Serraldo, man. He needs to start implementing new methods.
They're using kick out as a battering ram.
They need to start getting more creative in attack. That's what it comes down to. That's what I feel like they lacked in that second half. Galvin was frustrated. I seen it in my own eyes. They just were frustrated. They're looking at each other, giving each other dirties.
And I think he's just one last thing before we move on. We don't want to get stuck into the Brisbane, but I think he's regimented in his bench, the rotations. For example, Jake Turpin was having his best game, takes him off, doesn't come back on.
I mentioned
the feel for the game as a coach.
One of the boys earlier, I was like,
you take him off. He doesn't come back on. Yeah. Wouldn't he stay on if you're having a cracker game?
And Jack Todd did not play a lot of minutes. I know that
he came off the HIA.
But regardless, that was at the end of.
He only came on in the second half. Jack Todd might have been
minutes. He's a good go forward. He's got a bigger body.
Against a small Broncos team, 100% he'll do well.
It gives a Harry Hayes or someone that his caliber a good rest for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Because at the end of the day, Haram Hayes played big minutes, and a lot of middle.
Hayes is not a starter.
Yeah, but. He's a good
Leapoy Hotboy. Why was Leap? Can you answer to me? Why was Leapoy Hotboy dropped against Canberra? He was the only guy going forward for us.
The biggest thing with Serraldo I've noticed with him in the last year till now, he does the complete opposite of what Madge does. Madge will leave his best player on the field.
If they're performing, if they're on the street, if they're hot.
If you remember Jaden Hunt, who the hell was he? He was having a cracker game.
So he left him.
He leaves him on. Serraldo, if he sees a Kurt Man killing it, he racks him off.
Kerman killing it and Reed Marnie against Penrith.
Jake Turpin came out for revenge against us. He was mopping us.
Jake Turpin's the one
in each tackle.
Jake Turpin's the one that shut down Ezra Man and Adam Reynolds a couple of times for the kick on the full.
Bro, he was like a Sahadan, like a monkey running left and right. He was everywhere.
Reed Marnie. Reed Marnie's line speed versus Penrith for shutting down Cleary, and Moses Leota came off. Look. Okay, not a coach, a genuine question. Why does the coach take off a play that's killing it during the game? Can anyone answer to me?
For what I've learned from my coaches and
don't you play it by
Bennett will leave him on, man. He'll kill them if they have to, as long as they're doing well.
Look, I'm just going to end up with this. Serraldo's got not long left to experiment with what he's doing. Because look, let's be real. You got Salmon and Satili coming back next week. What is he actually going to do?
Salmon's in the reserves. 18th man or 19th man.
Sorry,
like you need
Bailey's form doesn't justify first grade at the moment.
You need to get this decision. Rotation, team picked right.
He's going to go with Galvin on the bench. That's what he's doing. I'm telling you now.
We've got two small bodies, as in Kirkman and Galvin, that they could both play.
And we got monstered by Brisbane and Canberra. And what's one thing Brisbane and Canberra have in common? The monster pack.
So you're telling me he's going to drop Kirkman?
Full strength.
He's not going to drop Kirkman.
Very strong pack.
Origin player. You're going to tell me he's not going to select Salmon?
I think the biggest thing has now with the Bulldogs, the biggest dilemma is that your big names. You don't have like a main number 8. You don't have like a main number 10. I know Max Ken finally solidified that. I think Preston finally solidified that. But like your lock's not solidified. You don't have solidified. Whereas the Broncos, we know who our lock is. We know who our prop is. We know who our second row is. And that's where the biggest dilemma is for Canterbury.
I like Curran to start at 13.
See what I mean?
And I like Kurtman coming in.
Whereas you go to other teams, go to a Raiders. Immediately you got your Papali, you got your Corey Horsburgh. Immediately you know who you're choosing. You go to Canterbury.
It goes back to our first point, musical chairs.
100%. You go back to Canterbury.
It's going to hurt the team.
And everyone has a different opinion.
Leave the final say with you, young man, about the Bulldogs versus Broncos game before we move on.
He just needs to get it right. But the important time is now. Origin period's over by the end of this week, and he needs to get it right. Because otherwise, It's not the players that's going to derail the season.
You're right,
It's
Ola.
his selection.
The buck stops with the coach. Sorry.
Last week, Hazna, you said the perfect point. Sorry, just to close off, you said that you need to rip the band off.
Yeah, 100%.
You brought in Galvin and...
Yeah, it's because it's common sense. You got this player for an in particular position. Do the choice now before it hurts the team, which is currently doing now.
100%.
So rip one player off and put that one player on. No need to do this whole musical chair.
100%.
Just the way
As much
Finch
as
said.
Madge loves Corey Pakes, just like you said, we discussed this. Ben Hunt came back from injury. He's our number 9. Billy Walters is killing it. Walters are 14. There's no scuttlebutt. There's no. I'm gonna name Pakes 9 and then I'm gonna drop. Bro, we've signed Hunt. He's playing. You signed Galvin. You play him.
There needs to be a settled formation, and it needs to be settled as soon as possible.
100%.
It's showing now on the team.
Yeah.
Bro, everyone's getting frustrated. I swear, even the Bulldogs fans are getting frustrated. But the non-Bulldogs fans are getting frustrated because we're fans of the game. We want to see the best teams from
They're going to
every
say it
single
was
team.
working and we're coming first. Yeah, it was working to an extent, but it did. Like I said, it did. A couple of those wins there were some ugly wins.
How much of us frustrated about Nico Hines, for example, him and his contract in the Sharks? We all can't wait for him to get dropped. Like, we'll never get dropped. Like, that's another example. I'll just give you like a little example of fans that don't go for a particular team, but we just want to see the best players on the field. And I feel like we all just want to see Galvin at 7 already.
It brings me to my next point. I had a Broncos fan. They were sitting in front of us. They were a special breed. He took his shirt off.
Oh no!
It was -5 degrees. He took his shirt off.
Was he celebrating for that win? He has every point after 18 with the team that we had. Tyson Smith.
But there should be.
The good thing is he left to go to the bar when there was
just
5 minutes
before.
left. So he didn't.
So he missed out on the last
Bro, he
try.
was gonna kill us.
He missed out on the winning
No
try.
way,
He
stop.
would have gave it to us.
Speaking of breeding, there should be a quote on how much the Queensland people should breed. And we've lost our last Queensland viewer for the. but he was right. I had 2 jackets on.
Our Brisbane supporters,
He
mate,
rocked up.
we are special.
And he was in good seats.
I've been to Suncorp many times, mate, and I've had jackets on.
He was a
and
good
they're in
sport.
shirts.
He was a good sport.
Yeah, he was alright. He was harmless.
Lucky we got away from it. He left to get some more beer.
I'll be honest, they drink a lot, but they're all harmless. Like they're good people.
I enjoyed Magic Round. They're all right.
You enjoyed it?
Shout out to another Adam Murad, another Broncos fan. There's an Adam.
Up the Broncos.
We're not all about we're not all about the Bulldogs. We do try to cover all the teams.
Multicultural.
Shout out to. I promised to shout out my best friend Osman, who's playing for the East Hills Bulldogs in A grade. He had a storming game on the weekend.
Big Oz.
Big Oz.
Well
He's a prop. He's got a cult following now off the back fence. Oz.
Off the back fence. He's a great player, man.
I'm trying to for next week's show. Can I get? There's a clip. Can we put a clip on? Yeah, for him.
Of course.
I promise to shout him out. You're doing well, mate. You're an inspiration to your kids.
100%.
Keep enjoying yourself. Sport's an awesome thing, bro. You have a love for sport.
Good on you.
Upstairs.
I'm going to play. So I say to my mum, there's a saying in Lebanese. What's that word?
Which one?
Talab al-Arba. You know, that's like when you go, you're going to play Talab al-Arba. Inshallah, you're too old, just settle down. Okay, I'm going to tell my mum I'm going to play Talab al-Arba. Yeah. Let's go. Moving on to, I got a small rant. Can you hear me out for this rant?
Yes, always.
I didn't want it to be a Galvin issue, and I'm one of his biggest fans. All right, and I know he's going to be something. The Dogs bought Galvin for not. This might sound stupid, but I genuinely believe it wasn't for 2025. It just happened he could come this year. They bought him for 26, 27, 28. Hence the 3-4 year contract.
100%.
All right. It's estimated that the Fox Sports and News Limited platforms have run close to 100 separate reports and headlines referencing Lachlan Galvin and often in a very negative way. These headlines and reports are shared and forwarded across all social platforms and WhatsApp groups. You're in WhatsApp groups with many negative keyboard warriors jumping on the trend of bagging a kid. Some comments can become extremely vile, offensive, and very, very hurtful for such a 19-year-old. The scrutiny on the kid for him to be a major signing is part and parcel of professional sport. I understand that, but where do we draw the line? This raises serious questions of accountability on part of the media. How do we preach mental health awareness while feeding outrage-driven narratives based on a 19-year-old and accusing him of destabilising a whole club when all that he's doing is following his coach's instructions.
100%, I agree.
If the coach puts Galvin at number 6, do they want Galvin to say, no, coach, I don't want to play? What kind of attitude would that be?
Exactly, it would be a bad attitude if he goes against...
Everyone wants him to rip off the band. I can understand that, but okay, channel your frustration and your it shouldn't be negativity, your concerns to the coach.
Exactly, or to just the club. Just talk
Why
about the club.
hide behind? And this is Buzz Rothfield, your grub, Steve Crawley, your dog face, who continually put shit on Canterbury. Lucky for Canterbury being in the comp. Sorry, Adam, I'm going to put my Bulldogs hat on.
100%.
If Bulldogs weren't in the comp in 2025...
I'd do the same if I was you guys. If the way Buzz goes off for you guys, the way he just went off now recently...
If the Bulldogs weren't in the comp this year, just say they fold this year, he'd have no story to write. And it's constant negativity. If the Dogs are in turmoil and they're sitting in 3rd spot, what are the Sharks, who are a pre-season top 4 certainties, are in 10th spot? Any negativity? Have you read or seen any negative reports about the Sharks?
No. Never. I've seen...
Were they not top 4 certainties in
100%.
Many experts?
100%.
Mind you, Bulldogs shouldn't be where they are today.
Who did that expert grub? Did he have them in 3rd spot after round 19?
No.
So for a club in turmoil, they're actually going half decent, right?
That's right, but that's what I'm saying.
Someone actually tweeted. Sorry to cut you off, Hazza. Someone actually tweeted about the Sharks not doing well in like all their like under 20s and New South Wales Cup, blah blah blah. And then he actually retweeted back to him, telling him, "Oh yeah, just stay loyal. We're loyal fans. 1, 2, 3."
Yeah.
Bro, sit there and make a tweet about the Sharks. Talk about... Start making a strike for freaking taking off Nico Hines. Do something. They said
Adam... I love Adam Fanor-Blake. Adam Fanor-Blake, he's my customer, and I'll tell you...
Absolute gentleman.
He's a champion, and his father passed away during the week. Commiserations to the Fanor-Blake family. His funeral's on Saturday. Anyway, but Adam Fanor-Blake was supposed to be the final piece of the puzzle for the Sharks' premiership push. They've gone backwards.
That's right.
100%.
Do you reckon Buzz Rothfield and Crawley has the balls to go blame Adam Fanor-Blake? I'd love to see him go up and write a negative story about Adam Fanor-Blake.
100%. Or even Will Kennedy.
Are you holding your breath? Will that happen?
That's not going to happen, bro.
Let him go tell Adam Fanor-Blake he's been a dud signings of the year.
That'll never happen.
Will Kennedy being off contract at the end of the season. How come no one's talking about that? But if it was Reed Marnie being off contract, or if it was a Broncos player, because he's actually came like after Broncos plays and Broncos like a Broncos team, the way Madges ran his team. If it was a Sharks player being off contract, he won't say a thing. He won't say a word. He won't tweet nothing.
He's just on the bandwagon of talking shit to a club that is the most hyped up club in the past 2 years, which is the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs.
Oh, I agree.
They've been the most trending, the most followed, the most hyped club in the NRL in the past 2 years.
I can agree with that.
And he's just putting it down. He's just trying to put them down, give the whole club pressure to go down more on the ladder. Give pressures on the individuals, as in Galvin, giving the pressure on the coaches and Gus. But he can't give credit to Gus and Ciro, saying that this club's overachieved in the past 2 years.
We're in 3rd.
That's right, and we've got a premiership fight this year. We're not going for a final fight. We're going for a premiership fight. You know, so
last year Bulldogs versus Sharks, the Bulldogs beat the Sharks in the finals.
Yeah.
Just another. Adam. As a Bulldogs fan, if I offered you at round 1, if I offered you 3rd spot, outright 3rd spot, or it's actually equal second.
Equal second.
Okay. Let's be precise. If I offered you equal second spot after 18 rounds, what would you have done? Would you have jumped at it?
100%.
Enough said.
100%.
And how committed are we to athlete welfare? Are these journos? Like, where do we draw a line? Do we have to wait for a young kid to do something harmful, or wait for him to enter a mental institution and beg for help, where we stop writing stories about? And it's not just about Galvin; it could be the next kid. Will Kennedy got the Cronulla Sharks as a first grade fullback, and he was leading the Dully M's at the beginning of the year, or was it last year? Sorry, don't quote me.
Maybe
he's gotten them to the prelims 2 years in a row. Yet he's not signed. Why isn't there any stories about Will Kennedy? What's Will Kennedy done wrong?
Exactly. 100%.
Are they blaming Will Kennedy? Will Kennedy does the people versing the Sharks have to beat 12 people before they get to the last one in defence of Will Kennedy.
There was no big hype on Talon Da Silva.
Hey?
There was no big hype on
When he
Tony
did-
Silva when he left the same club.
Yep.
And almost with the same issue.
He goes, play me or I'm leaving.
That's right.
Wow.
That's
That's a very good point.
And they weren't willing to pay him that 600 grand for the following
That's a
year.
very,
for next
very
year.
good point.
And on top of that, you've got now next Jerome Buller, who could be on the outer as well.
And Isaac Modges has already started talking to other clubs, and he hasn't said a word about it.
Yeah, is there going to be now pressure on Jerome Buller and his mental state? Like, haram, bro.
It's like these negative stories are fueling player and fans bullying players, and intense pressure on these, not only the players but on their families. These players still need to go home to their families, where their mum, dad, husbands and wives. They aren't just football players.
Aunties, 100%.
So I just think all that mental health went from Fox Sports and News Limited journos is full of shit. Come out and prove it. Don't practice what you preach.
Exactly.
Anyways, so it irks me that they spruce player welfare, mental health, player accountability, but they're not. These journos are never accountable, and a line's got to be drawn, and I'm going to keep calling them out. And a lot of fans are waking up to it. It's not just myself, not just Hazna, and not just Adam. It's anyhow. Okay, Let's switch up the vibe. Round 19, game 1, Friday night. Sharks versus Dolphins at I call it Shark Park. I don't care. What do they call it? Yeah, Shark Stadium now.
Yeah, Shark Park.
For the Dolphins, no Nicarima, and for
Sullivan
the Sharks, like I said, they're coming in. They're 10. I'll just double check the ladder, especially for you, Buzz.
Sullivan's in at seven for
Sullivan, yes.
Yeah, Sullivan.
Sharks are in 10th. Adam, when's do or die for them, bro?
I think do or die for the Sharks is the next 2 rounds. 100%.
If they can't beat the Dolphins at home on a Friday night at full strength, the Sharks are at full strength.
If you're not at 20 points by round 20, I don't think you're.
This is the round that everyone double clutches and goes into that second gear.
Double clutches.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that in ages. I like
Goes
it.
into that second gear and kick on. And to be honest, in that game, I see Dolphins going up.
You know what?
that
I want
gear.
the Dolphins. I love me and you have a hard on over Isaiah Katoa.
100%.
Lucky these
How much we talk about him?
Lucky these tables hiding the.
Bro,
That's why it's a black table.
we were at that Bulldogs Dolphins game.
He
It was
was
supposed
wow.
to be like.
He was
we were
wow.
just watching Qatar.
The sky's the limit for that kid.
Oh, wow,
Bro, God,
yeah.
God bless him and his family. If Dylan Brown's worth
1.4, this guy's worth.
1.4, this guy's worth 2.8.
Well, that's what I said in the first episode.
Is it
Okay, no,
1.4?
I've added another. I've added. You said 2.
I said 1.8.
Oh, okay. He's worth $2 million.
Yeah, man. He's not
Easy in today's market. If
If anything happened to Luai or Cleary, I would have no hesitation.
Well, that's
putting
the
him in.
thing.
He was
If
next in line.
If he's not in that era with Cleary and Noah.
he was in top 20 this selection,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
he was.
They're actually so fun. Dolphins as a neutral, they're so fun to
They're
watch.
sexy to watch.
They put 50 points
So
on,
fun.
50-40, 50-40.
They're missing 3/4 or is it half their salary cap? Or is it 30%, 35%?
Tom Flegler, Tommy Gilbert,
There's so much.
fun.
Jack Bostock,
There's so much.
Saifidi.
Can't believe that.
And congratulations to the Hammer who
Now Nicarima.
Hamaso Tabo Fido, who during the week put his hammer in the wrong toolbox. Doing well on and off the field, Hammer, even though some might not condone that sort of behaviour. Tip Hazna.
Dolphins 13 plus.
Dolphins 13 plus.
Yeah, I've got the Dolphins 13.
Big Adam.
You know what? I think Dolphins 1 to 12. I think the Sharks will put up a fight. I think they always put up a fight every game. For some reason, you can't just roll over them. I think the Dolphins will get them.
Okay, I'm going Dolphins by 2.
Ooh.
I hope a high scoring game. Dolphins by 2. Next game, Newcastle, a Saturday 3 p.m. game from Newcastle Stadium. What do they call that stadium? McDonald Jones. 3 p.m. for Newcastle. Leo Thompson comes back, but they lose Ponga. Fletcher Hunt goes to fullback. The gun mullet.
Pappenhausen
For
back.
Melbourne, Pappenhausen back. And the Origin players are on an extended bench. I don't think Munster or Harry Grant will play.
Yeah, I think so.
But they're saying Trent Liero and who's the other? Trent, give me a second.
Is it Trent and Uto?
Oh no, even Jack Howarth might be back for
Jack
Melbourne.
From that
He
operation.
appendicitis.
Yeah, they said 6 weeks.
A big recovery. Bro, Jaden Brayley, the hooker, are you a Phoenix Crosland fan?
No.
I love Jaden. Jaden Brayley's been killing it at hooker.
Look, I like Crossland for what he does. He's a high effort player, but he's not skillful enough. People think that I love him. He's just got high effort plays, but he's
Jaden Brayley is wasted on the. Jaden Brayley is a 9. He was club captain a couple of years back. Then he suffered that Achilles.
His brother's gone.
My favourite.
Braden Brayley's good, and Jaden Brayley.
Wow, skillful.
But I might if Ponga and Fletcher.
I think he's a no-brainer for me. I think he's a Melbourne.
But Melbourne have struggled at Newcastle Stadium. And if you can't say, obviously, maybe. I'm going Newcastle I go Newcastle 1 to 12.
Wow.
That's a big shock, bro.
Melbourne struggle at Newcastle.
What do you reckon?
And Melbourne Munster won't play and Harry Grant won't play. The winger, Xavier Coates, is not playing. And Pappenhausen's calf. I like the pack, barring the hooker. Frizzell, Kaipi's Paul, Dylan Lucas, Leo Thompson back, Jacob Sice-Fidi.
I love Bronson Garlic.
I want to put you on the spot here.
Yes, sir.
Newcastle's team today.
Yeah.
Against Cowboys' team last week. Who wins?
Who played Cowboys last?
Melbourne.
Newcastle. At Newcastle?
At Newcastle. Let's say at Newcastle.
Okay, Newcastle will win this week.
Wow.
You guys are tipping both Melbourne.
Yeah.
I think Bronson Garlic will end up having another good.
Garlic signed with South.
Yeah, you did tell me that, didn't you, a lot long ago.
But now they've got Mamazoulis, Havili, Brandon Smith, and Garlic as hookers.
Bro, Garlic is...
Orgalo's Pie. Shout out to Orgalo's Pies. Hit us up if you want to sponsor, champ. Next game, Saturday 5:30 game at Cogra Jubilee. It's the 11th place Dragons versus the 9th place Roosters. Roosters coming off a shock loss to the mighty West. Shout out to my brother Tariq's friend. What's his name? Aaron or Paul?
I'm not sure.
He said I put too much shit on the West Tigers. No, my brother.
Oh, okay.
West Tigers were my second favourite team until their psycho fans after round 2 started telling me how they're going to win the premiership and turned me off them. But last week's game, the Tigers were brilliant. I was backing him all the way. I love Latu Fainu and I love Adam Dewey at 6. Not saying they should drop Jerome Luai, but Adam Dewey had his best game at 6 and Latu Fainu is a bona fide superstar in the making.
We're massive fans of them, aren't we, bro? Both of them.
First 6-7
Agree,
rounds.
sir?
Yeah, first 6-7 rounds for Tigers. I was enjoying watching them play.
I just can't stand. I can't stand some of their fans that got too bit too happy. Adam, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they need to calm down a bit.
They were premiership favourites after round 2. Best defensive side, best line breaks, best everything.
I said it was my second favourite team. You said it was my second favourite team.
No,
this year it's just, bro. Let's just take a step back on that.
For the Roosters, a massive in Sam Walker.
Yeah, Sam Walker, but I'm very upset for Sandon Smith, man.
Yeah.
Do you drop him for Hugo?
But that's what a coach does.
He makes the call.
He makes the call, my brother.
Well said.
Like you're a tank, Hazna.
After half of the season he hasn't played.
Well said.
Dugri puts him in.
Yeah, no scuttlebutt, no.
Sorry, can I just check? Is Sandon Smith on the bench?
No, not even. I don't think he is. He's a stretch reserve. And what I liked about
the move, he's totally out of the 17.
And what I liked about the move, Hazna, was there was no. He's still training with the team. He's still happy. Everything's all good.
That's the way it is.
There's no buzz going after him. No nothing. There's no There's nothing.
Victor Ali comes back from his 2 weeks for concussion. Victor Ali's a gun. He's too brave for his own good.
Welcome.
He's my favourite 13.
God forbid one HIA, he's gone for the year. If the Roosters,
man, they're saying
how much concussion he's had.
Bro, they're saying a couple more concussions, he could medically retire. Him and Caleb Ponga.
He's another day for Nukin.
He's too courageous for his own good.
Oh, that for Nukin. Yeah, he is.
And Boyd Cordner.
Oh my God, that guy.
They play.
Johnny Jurgis, I love you, bro. I gotta.
Matt Gillette had to retire medically.
That's
for going too hard.
I'll throw a curveball to you and Adam. Boyd Cordner, Egan Butcher, Lindsay Collins, Victor Radley, all Roosters players, all have now a history of. Jake Friend, all have a history of concussions.
Friendly, yeah.
Is it the tackle technique being taught at the Roosters?
That could be a good.
It's too much of it's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, you've got a good point there.
It can be they're too ballsy, too courageous, or they're not.
Positioned well.
The technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trent Robertson.
That's 5 players. I've just listed off the top of my head.
Yeah, like if you watch the Storms train or the Roosters train, they do a lot of wrestling techniques and stuff. It could be a thing.
What's his name?
Trent
Their
Robinson?
coach. Trent Robinson. Fix their tackle technique, mate. If you really love your players, there's one for you. For the Dragons, who do they get back? King Cole's still in number 7. Teflon Kyle.
I don't want to talk about him.
Valentine Holmes comes back. And Luciano Leilua, he missed last week. Him and Hamish Stewart come back. I've got the Roosters winning and winning well.
Yeah. Roosters 13 plus.
I hope Roosters.
Roosters for Kieran. Only for Kieran, not you, Robinson.
Roosters 13 plus with the Sam Walker.
Special, yeah. He'll come out for a
Special.
100%. I think the Dragons will put up a good fight again because they've actually been playing well, unfortunately. Even though we want them to do bad, but... Yeah.
They're giving away too much early leads, haven't they?
So much. It's actually like shocking how much they've given away, how many leads. Like with the past 3-4 games.
Saturday, 7:30 at Queensland Country Stadium. It's the mighty Bulldogs in 3rd spot, but they're in turmoil. Versus Cowboys in 12th spot. For the Dogs, we've got the Origin players hopefully all backing up, all listed. We've got Turpin dropping out of the side, Salmon on the extended bench. Anari Tuolau takes over from Montoya. Montoya's injury is an AC injury. That's the best thing I can say, but that's a blessing in disguise because Montoya I had a whole subject on Montoya this week, but he injured himself. Well done, Marcello. Take your time coming back, my brother. We need you fully fit for 2027. I'll go to the neutral first.
Yes, sir.
Adam, who wins this and why?
I think the Bulldogs are going to come out and absolutely liberate Cowboys. They have to. For the fans, for the coach, and for themselves, especially after that second half. You guys gifted us the win. I'm sorry to bring it up again.
No, you're right. That's why I asked you.
Deserve to win that. We didn't win that game. I know Ezra Mam had 3 tries. But bro, you have to come out and show why you guys are coming in the top 4. And I believe you can.
The first 10-15 minutes will will show where the Bulldogs' mindset is at. Because I've said it before, and I know you've agreed with me. The Cowboys are flat track bullies. If they get a roll on and their attack flows and their offloads, stick and drink water off the back, drink water's a freak, they can put 20 points in 10 minutes.
Easy.
Broncos scored 4 tries in 14 minutes. Cowboys can do that at home on a dry, quick track at Queensland, in North Queensland. If our first 15-20 minutes we don't come out and set the tone, we're in trouble.
That's right. Our next 3 weeks, starting from this week, should on paper should be an easy run, but the opponents that we're versing are all fighting for that 8th spot.
Because even though the Cowboys can put 30 on you, they can easily let in 30.
Yeah,
exactly.
Easy. Yeah, no, they're very vulnerable. But
so it's all about mindset and attitude. The first 15-20 minutes, and that's why I don't know why this guy Bailey Hayward is starting. If we've got to start fast,
you know what I'm really upset with this 17.
Yes, sir.
Daniel Saluka Fafita.
Is he not in it?
He's played.
He should be in for Sam Hughes, hasn't he?
No doubt. No doubt.
You're joking.
We were at the game.
I don't know.
So look at is number 22.
We were at the game last week. After 15 minutes, how was Sam Hughes? We saw him.
His chest was popping out of his ribcage.
He couldn't even walk back to the attacking line. He had to wait. He was back in line with fourth tackle. On fourth tackle.
Shout out to
Fafita. Mind you, I'm not bagging Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes.
But Daniel's been playing better this year due to the game time.
He's played more minutes in first grade this year.
Reed Money playing his new team. That would be funny for him.
I can't get over Saluka Fafita. Honestly, I'm shocked.
Saluka Fafita should have.
That's like dropping Xavier Willison if he gets HI8 and then not putting him back in the 20 or in the 17.
If Reed Money gives away a couple of penalties, watch Buzz Rothfield to say, "Oh, Reed Money's playing for the Cowboys." I like Inari. It was a toss of the coin between Blake Wilson and Inari Tuolau, but I think you said that Hazna. You said the bigger body of Inari.
Adam said that.
Yeah,
Adam?
Bigger body.
Bigger body. Last week's run will be better. 80 minutes under his belt. He might.
Hasna has a point in terms of why is he playing him in centres and then in the NRL he's playing him in centres in the wing.
Yeah.
But I think after last week.
But with Inari's second half performance last week was much better than his first half. Remember when I was telling you first half he looked nervous. He looked heavy on his feet.
Yeah,
it's his first game back in first grade from a broken foot, which are very painful injuries.
His second half was really good. He was one of our best players in the second half.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of him.
What's his name? Johnny Bateman is out for the Cowboys.
Oh, he's right.
He tore his groin. He got a groin strain.
Yes, it was all
He tore his groin. Clifford at 6 and Dearden at 7. It's good. And Jackson Purdue back to 3.
And then
I don't have dogs. I don't have dogs 13 plus at all. I got dogs 1 by 6.
Wow.
Hopefully a stronger performance and to solidify.
My prediction is Bulldogs will win 13 plus. Cowboys will struggle to score, and Marnie will be man of the match.
Hope so. Our next game comes to you from Go Media Stadium in Auckland, Sunday 2 p.m. game. It's the 4th place Warriors versus the 14th place West Tigers. Tigers, as I said before, coming off an awesome win. Maybe a season turning momentum win for the Tigers.
Hopefully.
If they can beat the understrength Warriors, they can make a little semi-run. Yes?
Right. Yeah, they're 4 points away from the 8.
If Jerome Lillewhite comes through Origin unscathed, he's back into the 6, where Dewey goes back to centre, which we all knew would happen. Terrell May had a GOAT game against the Roosters, showed Trent Robinson what he's missing out on.
100%.
He was huge.
Massive, bro.
Tristan Hope played well hooker, and Api Coruscant comes back.
Yeah, so Appy comes back.
Api Coruscant comes back. For the Warriors, Tanner Boyd's been given the number 7 halfback spot.
And they got the
not Tamari Martin.
Yeah, they got the young kid at fullback.
And Tain Tuapiki.
The young kid.
Would you? I would have went RTS at fullback. And Tain Tuapiki started the season on the wing.
I'm a big fan of coaches taking out and putting in without shuffling. I know Wayne Bennett is a big shuffler.
Okay.
I grew up to a big shuffler. I grew up to a coach that used to always shuffle and give us anxiety. But I'm a big fan of the pick and slot, the pick and move.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean?
Pick and stick.
Pick and stick.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I'm a big fan of it.
Kurt Capewell is a chance to play. He's on the extended bench, depending how he gets through Origin.
For the Broncos, he used to always back up for us.
He's needed for his experience in the young Warrior side, who are, if they lose, in danger of losing their 4th spot to, like we said, Brisbane.
It's a very important game for him.
Yeah, so I think he'll back up.
100%.
I've got Warriors.
Sorry, I didn't ask you.
1 to 12.
1 to 12 Warriors?
I think the Tigers 1 to 12.
I'm going to go Tigers. Tarek's friend, you know who you are at work? Sorry, I forgot your name. It's Aaron, Paul, Andrew. I've listed every Aussie name under the sun.
But you know who you are.
I promise you, I'll be cheering for the West Tigers, and I hope they win this week for you. Sunday, cracker game. Sunday at Combank Stadium, the Western Derby.
The Battle of the West.
Between the Parramatta Eels and the Penrith Panthers.
I'm looking forward for this one.
Me too.
Penrith got all their Origin, the whole contingent on the extended bench, but you think Cleary will play them?
Yeah, it's important.
They're on a run?
Nah, it's an important part of the
He'll
season.
play them?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? I think
Or is he going to take Parramatta a little bit lightly and not play
He
them?
doesn't have that privilege that he's had the past 5 years.
If he wants a top 4 spot, he has to play them.
100%.
They can't slip up.
I think the reason he plays him is because it's on
Plays.
a Sunday. I think he plays them because it's on a Sunday.
Good point.
So they'll be back on
Friday,
They'll be back on Thursday. They'll be back. They'll have a
big
training.
turnaround.
Exactly.
Longer turnaround.
Yeah. That's the biggest
Good
thing.
point.
That's why I'm worried about the next game that's coming up. But yeah.
Talon De Silva debuts for Parramatta. Good luck to the kid.
Yeah, straight up.
And Luke Garner. I've found Luke Garner.
He's on contract.
No, he's on contract, but Penrith have told him to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
He's spoken to the Eels and Dragons. He'll have a decision.
He's a good
shortly.
player.
I like Luke Garner.
I don't know why they...
Even when he used to play at the West Tigers, he hits an awesome line.
100%.
Yeah.
Why move him forward? Why move him on?
Just salary cap pressure.
At Penrith?
They have,
Or maybe they got. Maybe they want to buy they want to buy Torrell Sloan and
they
they
have no money. They have no money. They were talking about it.
They can't make one signing and without losing a player
till next year.
I think they've even tapped Scott Sorensen on the back.
Well, no, Sorensen.
Yes, they're trying to shop him to the Super League. They're trying to make room for someone, whether it's Tyrell Sloan or someone, or just for their salary cap to breathe.
Well, hopefully it works out for them, man.
Well, you're telling me McLean and
Actually, Charlotte doesn't work out for
them.
Sorry, big man.
Telling
No,
me
enough of
McLean
them.
and
They've
Jenkins are
traumatised
gonna
us.
get a pay rise later.
Yeah, you're right. Jenkins came into their top 30 now. McLean was in the top 30.
Yeah.
But I think Tyrell Sloan, they've got where does it fit in?
For Sloan, man? They've got Jenkins.
Because Alamotti, Jenkins.
Alamotti, for some reason, he plays like his prime Alamotti for some reason.
What happened to him? Alamotti.
He got injured. He was just injured for a while.
He was dropped and injured, then came back. He's been up and down this year.
100%. His
But
suspensions, injuries.
But he's a what do you call it?
For some reason,
he's a premiership winner. He won it last year.
For some reason, he's a key player.
No one can take it away from him.
He's playing.
Kelma Tuolangi is injured at second row for Para. Charlie Geimer, who's awesome name to be honest for footy name. Charlie Geimer takes his spot. I'm going Penrith whether the Origin players play or not. They're on a roll now.
Yeah.
The real Penrith Panthers have stood up.
Yeah, Penrith 1-12.
Penrith in a cracking game.
Yeah.
I think if
Not a blowout.
Penrith play their players, they win. They win it.
With their players blowout.
Yeah.
Without
their players,
side.
Parramatta.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think Parramatta and Cholo
I
Parramatta.
love it when we disagree.
Yeah, and shot like a man Parramatta. I hope it is Parramatta. Drops them down.
Because he's in Cholo Parramatta from a Brisbane focal point.
I'm worried
We're in
about-
Cholo Parramatta
from a Bulldogs perspective.
Sunday 6:15 Seabus Super Stadium. The game of the round, Adam.
Yes, man, I can't wait.
Not. the mighty Des Hasler led 17th spot Titans
Mr. Retirement.
versus the Broncos. Mind you, the Titans have fielded their strongest, the first time they fielded their strongest lineup minus Keanu Keeney.
Yeah, and David Fafita back.
Fafita's back, JC's back.
Hazna.
Preston, Jaden. You always call him Preston.
Yeah.
Jaden, Milwaukee's
Preston.
Milwaukee's not backing up. Sorry,
What's that?
it's Tino's backing up.
They're all going to back up. Of course, they're going to back up. It's against Brisbane. They're older brothers.
The older brother, younger brother.
Yeah, it's a big rivalry up there.
Well done for Willis. We didn't mention Willison. Willison was huge for the Broncos last week.
Massive man. Big.
It's good to see him start. He's not an edge player.
No,
he needs to
not
play
at
prop.
all.
He's a
Not
big
at all.
body. You've got your edges there. You've got Pirikor and John Ricky.
You still need them.
That's it. And
100%.
Kuchevsky as the rotator.
And finally, Ricky had a freaking aggressive game for
Ricky
the first
played well.
time.
Ricky played well. I have to admit, Ricky played well. Carrigan, bro, surely Huss doesn't back up with that quad and lower back injury.
Inshallah, he doesn't. I pray he doesn't. Only because of that bulging disc.
You just need him
groin.
for the end of the year, and I don't want him backing up because the opponent in fantasy I'm playing has him. Do you know he couldn't give a flying F about fantasy, hey?
I've given up. My players getting injured, suspended,
That's the whole point.
not selected.
Like we said, Big Ben.
No.
Benny Hunt straight back in.
Ben Hunt straight in.
He's gonna. I'm telling you, Broncos. We will remember Broncos are gonna make a run.
Do you think they'll win this game?
Yes, easily.
Come on, Hazna, what are you thinking?
I feel,
If Keanu Keeney was playing for,
I feel like Titans will give you a fight.
they're always close games, but aren't they, Adam?
We always struggle against them for some reason. We either struggle with them, just beat them, or we either come out, defeat them, and then second half they come back.
High scoring game.
26-12, 26-18.
Yeah, it'll be a high scoring game.
30-18, always.
We can't upset our guests and tip the Titans.
No,
hey, go
I'm picking Broncos, but expect a
picking-
fight. Expect
If
a
Ben
fight.
Hunt does play and if Paynehouse backs up, which I don't know why.
Unfortunately, we got Ben Takura done his ankle 6
No,
weeks.
Takura's back, Adam. Takura's back.
reserves.
I think
So
Takura
the early
might.
return. Blake Moser just broke his jaw. 6 weeks
I
now
broke
again.
his jaw.
He just broke his
I
jaw.
bet It's
This
not-
week.
Poor guy, but it's lessen the blow with Ben Hunt back.
With Ben Hunt
Because
back.
then you
and-
have 15 hookers.
True.
We've got Tyson Smoothie.
More hookers than
The Canterbury.
What are we doing with Smoothie on the bench? Like,
You really.
he had a good game,
You
but
really hate Smoothie.
yeah, I really hate him. Well, he's leaving to the Super League. next
My
week.
mate Hossam hates him too.
He
Banana
has to though,
Smoothie.
man.
Now moving on to the decider tomorrow at Accor. Is it Accor? Stadium.
no,
I can't keep up.
Stadium.
Stadium. You're going to the game, Adam.
Yes,
Enjoy
can't
yourself.
wait. 100%. Thank you so much.
Queensland cane toad. Don't enjoy yourself too much. I'm surrounded by cane toads,
Up the Maroon.
and we're representing Maroons. You scum.
Yeah,
I still got a soft spot for New South Wales, but straight out.
So you're sitting on the fencing with splinters in your ass.
Yeah, straight out.
That's why you walked funny. Let's. You guys know the teams.
Yeah, Papali in.
Just quickly, Laurie Daly, 6 wins, 9 losses, 40%. If he loses tomorrow, he's got to be sacked.
Yeah, that's true.
Who? I can't believe
Got to
that.
be sacked.
Has to be.
Any greens?
I agree.
So he'll go for
With Craig Bellamy next
his
team,
percentage will drop to less than 40%. 6 wins and 10 losses,
with that starter team, with
And-
Craig Bellamy next team,
and at home.
and he still can't like get it going.
He'll
I
get
lost
it
him by, man.
Pick. Okay, I want a winner. I want a score. I want a man of the match and a bold prediction. Mr. Hazna, please, sir.
As much as I love Maroons, I think New South Wales 1-12.
Wow.
Man of the match will
Give
be.
me a score. Give me a score line, please.
The score.
Throw it at me.
The score will be 20-16.
Wow.
Oh, close. It's
Yeah.
Jewish surface.
Yeah.
A-core.
Yeah, feel good.
Okay,
20
bold
to
prediction
16.
and man of the match,
My
my
bold
bro.
prediction will be Maroons winning 13 plus and Kurt Mann to be man of the match with longer minutes.
Okay, and your man of the match was Kurt Mann. No, if you go back to your tip of
To my reality tip,
yes,
my man of the
come
match.
back from Disneyland for a bit.
Yeah, my man of the match will be Nathan Cleary icing the game.
It's
Give it a big moment.
He needs to ice this one, Adam.
He does, man, for his reputation.
It's a mad legacy. He's got a GOAT legacy. This will be the cream.
This is the pinnacle.
This is the nice cherry on top. We call
Phil
him,
Gill said it yesterday.
He's got the layers of cake.
100%.
He's got the creme.
He's still got his prime ahead of him.
He's got the sprinkles.
He's got everything.
He needs the cherry.
He needs the cherry. And
He deserves the cherry, Mark.
this is his cherry.
This is the pinnacle.
Take your new Queensland cap off. He
Yep.
deserves a cherry.
Of course he does.
Everyone.
As much as I'm traumatised by him with what he done to us, this year playing against him and in the grand
The
final,
Penrith Brisbane, yes.
he's phenomenal.
Okay, Adam, I'll ask you, my brother.
Ask me away.
Winner, score, man of the match, bold prediction.
I think my reality is Queensland 1-12. I think that we're going to pimp them. I think we're going to win 22 to about 18.
Okay, yes.
And I think our man of the match is going to be the Hammer. I really think he's just
On and off the
for
field,
some
man.
reason.
Match. On your
I
hammer.
think the Hammer's going to...
But give me a bold prediction.
My bold prediction...
Send off
is-
fisticuffs, sin bins,
My bold
referee,
prediction is-
9-1 penalty count. Ashley Klein, you're a mark. Let the players determine the game.
100%.
Me and Adam had a fight today on WhatsApp. I can show you I won't show you, I won't bore you.
Yeah, 100%.
The 9 penalties that he gave to New South Wales can be justified.
Can
but the
be.
nil can.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
100% you're
I'll
right.
say 7 out of 9, so let's say it can be.
100%.
But the nil penalties awarded
No.
to New South Wales, so Queensland, multiple times were offside.
100%.
You cannot tell me Queensland were perfect in the first half.
No.
In pouring rain.
100%. No way. 100%.
Okay,
We can't
Ashley
do that.
Klein, Teflon, another grub.
Fia Holak.
Let the players decide the game. Don't ruin it. People have paid $350, $400 not to watch you blow the whistle. Put the whistle in your pocket
There you go, Benji.
and let the players decide the game. Benji, love you, bro. Okay, your
Our prediction is
sir.
New South Wales to blow it out. Nathan Cleary, man of the match.
Okay.
That's my dreamland. That's me watching and just being destroyed and leaving Origin at up to 63
I
minutes.
think I watched not NRL 360. I watched 100% footy last night. They filmed it at Acor Stadium, actually on the grass.
That's right.
Feel Good ran his hands over the grass.
Multiple times.
He loved it.
He loved it. He wanted to talk about it.
What is he? Is he Phil's backyard? He's what do they call him? A landscaper.
Burke's backyard.
Landscaper. Rusty. He's a landscaper. Be careful. He's coming for your job, Rustin. It's wet. Kicking game's going to be important.
I'll give you a random stat. Papali has only lost one Origin game. In his past Origin game 3 record, he's only lost one game.
I think. Okay.
With Papali, we're always safe.
I'm going to be a hypocrite, Hazna. Call me a hypocrite because I want to sit on one side of the two. It's either a New South Wales blowout with my boy Trell Mick, love him, double,
Wow.
and Trell Mick man of the match. But the Channel 9 commentators and fuck sports will give it to Cleary because they love him. He can do no wrong, and justifiably so. Or I'm going to go Brisbane.
So what's your bold prediction in reality?
Queensland 16-14. And my bold prediction, I'm going to stick to it. Sin bin, I want fisticuffs. Bring back the beef. Bring back the beef. If Josh Papali is going for Payne Haas or Tino is going for Haas or Max King,
Bring the elbows out.
bring back the beef, bro. 10 minutes in a sin bin won't hurt anyone. That's
Give
all we're
someone
going
a
to
Nate Miles headbutt. It's all right.
That wraps up episode 4, boys. We'd like to thank Adam for coming along.
Thanks for having
You're
me
a
on, man.
champion.
You guys are
All the best.
absolute honour being on here.
All the best for Brisbane
Rest
to
of
come
the season.
second for the rest of the year. Adam wants a Brisbane Penrith grand final for redemption.
Yeah.
Adam's not welcome on his podcast ever again.
Oh, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so
Hazna, thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks heaps for watching. Enjoy Origin and enjoy round 19.